Hey guys, welcome to Recraft Relic channel, and I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to build an image gallery in React Native. So let's just get started with that. So firstly and foremost, I already have a empty React Native project set it up here, and you can see the app running, in the emulator. So to build a React Native app, we are basically going to uh, you know uh, so the main idea behind the app is that we are going to basically get all the photos in the devices, show it up in a grid, and when we click on them, we are able to browse them, by using swipes and all that. So let's get started. Firstly foremost, what we are going to do, we are going to extract images from the device, and for that we are going to use camera roll module provided by React Native community. I already have that installed, so I'm just going to just import that. So let me start by importing it. Import camera roll from at React Native camera roll. So I will provide all the information about these module in the description, so you guys can go there and browse about them. So we have the camera roll. Now one other thing we need is the permission to read the storage, so we can basically get the images information from the device. So for that, basically we are going to use the permission Android module provided by React Native. So firstly and foremost, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a use effect. So on component mount, what I'm going to do is ask for permission. So I can basically, so our app can use the permission. All right, so let's start const okay, so the first thing we are going to do is check if we already have the permission, in case the user already granted us the permission. So permission equal to permission android dot check, and the permission that we are going to check is for permissions dot uh, read ex external storage read. Okay, I messed up there. So permission dot, not like this, it will be permissions dot android dot right. So we are going to check if we has the permission. Has permission. You're going to check permission, or check permission android dot permission dot read external storage, and if we and this is going to be an a Singh function, and because of that I have to extract it inside a Singh function, because inside use effect we can't use a Singh. So I'm just going to extract and just call it check permission equal to async, and yeah, get started here. Await, if we has the permission, just return true. We don't have to worry about anything. If we don't have, then request for the permission, and how we're going to do is const status await permission android dot request, and inside that I'm going to basically provide what kind of a permission that I'm asking for, which is read external storage, and I'm just going to put it there, and then I can basically provide some title for the modal that will show up, which will ask user to provide them information. For example, I can say title image gallery app permissions, and then I can say message image gallery needs your permission to access your photos, for example, right? And then I can say, you know, button positive or negative, stuff like that. But basically button positive will render the OK button and the negative will render the cancel button and all that. But for this example we're just going to do button positive, right? And then once we have the status, we're going to return if the status was equal to granted, right? So if the user provides us the permission or not. Another important thing is to understand is that whenever we are requesting permission in the Android, we need to specify that inside the Android manifest. Okay, and so that's what I'm going to do. So if you go inside the app, you will go inside source, and if you go inside main, then you have this permission string here. We need two permission if you're using the camera roll, which is read and write. For us, we just need the right one, so I'm just going to use the right, not the right one, only the read one. So I'm just going to use the read one. Yeah, read external storage, and I am just going to go here. Instead of internet, I'm just going to say read external storage. And now I'm going to rebuild my app, you know, because I updated the Android manifest. So let's go here. Let's say firstly I'm going to start the Metro bundler React Native start, right? And then I'm going to say npx React Native run Android. Okay, so it's just going to rebuild my app and open it in the emulator. You can see the emulator here. So it's executing, building the app. So now it's installing the app. Let's see. Okay, so app is updated. Now let's see if, you know, if we have the permission. So I also have the debugger on, so it is basically you know, opened here. You can see. So this is where we are going to check the console. Let's go here, console that, and firstly foremost, let's call the check permission function here, and then let's console if we have the permission. Okay, so if we has the permission, if we're going to go inside the read external storage of undefined, cannot read property, read external storage of undefined permission, Android permissions. Let me check. So okay, I think it should be in, yeah, so it should be in all caps. So permission Android dot permission dot read external storage. Let's see. Okay, so it says true here. Let me see if it's the same console and reload the app. So you can see that true has permission. So I already have the permission to read the storage, but let me deny that. Let me go in the app settings and let me deny that and see how it works. I'm going to app info. In the permissions, files and media, I'm just going to say deny, and then I'm going to restart the application. And now, yeah, So now you can see it says image gallery app permission, so whatever the title that we provided and the message, and if we hit OK, then it asks me for the the permission to allow the app to use my like access my photos. So I just say allow, and now if I reload it again, I can go here and just press R, and if I reload it again and go to the console, you can see true, right? So now we have the permission and now we can access our photos. So let's go and access our photos. So in order to do that, what basically I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new function called const get photos. And what this get photos function basically do is it's a sync function, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to get the first 10 photos from our gallery. So for this example, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to fetch the first 10 photos. All right. So in order to do that, I just have to do const photos equal to await camera roll dot get photos, right? And then I just have to provide the how many images I need from the gallery. All right, so first 10 photos, and then I will get the photos, and I can console.log here, right? So good. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is a promise, if the check permission is true, then only I will get the photos, and if it is not, then I will just error out. But so for example, I'm just going to call the get photos inside it, not so in case if this fails, nothing will happen, but if it is the permission is granted, then it will call the get photos function. Let's see how that works. Okay, in our app we go here, I'm going to go here, hit R, right? So the app basically reloads and our browser console this. So this is basically the same console from photos. To just clarify, I'm just going to put another text here, and then I'm going to go to the app. Where is the app? Yeah, just hit R, app reloads, and you can see this object here. So when we basically get all the photos, it returns us this object with edges. Inside edges we have node, and inside node we have the image basically. So right now if I go to my device, I have downloaded some dummy image in the emulator. So if I go to my photos, you will be able to see 6 photos here. This is not right, and you can see the 6 photos here basically. I don't know why this Chrome is opening. So if I open, you can see these 6 photos. So now we have the information of all the images in our system. So you can see there are 6 edges here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that in the state, and then the next step will be basically showing them in a grid, right? So I'm going to create a very state variable called nodes, and a updater function called get nodes, use state, auto import it, and then I'm going to basically set it as an empty array for now, and I'm going to console it. Let's see what kind of data we will save here. Now if we go here and check, the photos have this structure. So inside photos we have dot edges, and that inside edges is an array of nodes, right? So what we are going to do, we only need the nodes. So what we are going to do is set nodes set nodes. Why I type get node, should be set, right? Set. So I'm going to do set nodes. I'm doing here. So set nodes dot, not nodes dot, but the photos dot edges dot, not dot because edges is an array. So edges dot map, right? For every edge I want to extract its node and create an array of that and set inside the node. So let's see if that works. So if we go inside here, I'm going to open my app. I'm going to open my terminal, going to hit reload, and if I go to my browser, you can see all the nodes, right? So now we don't have the edges and all that, we only have the nodes, and inside node we have image which have the URI and everything, right? So now we have all the images. In case you're wondering how I am able to access the logs in the browser, what you have to do is just hit D here in this terminal, just hit D and go inside your emulator, and you can just, here you will see a debug option, click on it and it will open this for you. If you want to stop it, you can stop debugging. All right, so now we have all the nodes, all the photos and everything. So now let's show this in a grid in our application. All right, so now let's go. All right, so let's create a view. Okay, so let's create a view, right? And inside that view, what we are going to do is we are going to map the nodes dot map. Okay, so nodes dot map, and it will give, for every node we'll get the node and the index, right? One thing we have to remember that these images will be clickable, so I'm going to wrap them inside a touchable opacity, so they will be clickable when because on their click we want to open them in a in a view where you can basically slide between the different images. So I'm just going to use the touchable opacity here, touchable opacity, right? And inside the touchable opacity, what I'm going to so I'm just going to make it a bit beautiful. I'm just going to do something like this, right? So inside touchable opacity, what I'm going to do is there will be an image, right? And this image source will be URI node. Inside node we have an image object, and inside that we have a URI. So node.image.uri, right? And so we have URI node.image.uri, and then we have, so let's see if that works. Also we have to provide a key because so let's see if that works. I'm going to go to the, okay, it says something, view is not defined, so I have to import the view. Okay, so it's refreshing, image is not defined. Why they are not getting auto imported? 1 second. Yeah, so if I go to the terminal, hit refresh, so we are not able to see an image. The reason being that we have to provide the some kind of styling to the view, so it should be able to like take up all the width of the device. So what I'm going to do here is view style equal to flex 1, right? Let's see if that works. No, and also I'm going to provide image the width height. So let's see if we can give it some width and height. So let's go here, give it a height of 100, 100. What I'm doing, I have to provide a style first. So, and inside style and object height will be 100, and let's for now give it a minimum width of 100 as well, and give it a flex one. So kind of all of the images take same kind of width across the device. So you can see all the images are being shown here, and you can see if I click on them they kind of graze out because we are using touchable opacity, but this is not the right grid that we are targeting for. So what we want is, we want like a square block here, then here, then here, and then the next image should be in the next row. So in order to do that, what I have to do is, in this view I have to say that its flex direction is row and its flex wrap is a wrap. Okay, and then again what I have to do is, I also have to provide the same styling to the touchable opacity. The reason being, the touchable opacity is the right element, is the child element of this view. So I have to provide this the value, so it should be able to fill up the room basically here. So that is that. Now you can see it goes something like this. What I was thinking, what will happen if I remove the minimum width? Anything will happen. Okay, so I have to provide a minimum width, right? And you can see, right? So you can see the grid basically working now. So how it works is something like this. So we have a view, and then we basically give it flex direction to row. So that means that all the items will stacked in a row, but because we have given its children flex 1, so all the elements should be of same width. And then after that we also provided that its flex wraps should be wrapped. So if something is getting like overflowed, then it will be wrapped to the next row basically. So that is what is happening right now. So we have 6 images, which is perfect, because then it basically gives us equal boxes, right? So now we have our grid. That's good. Now what we can do is, on their click we can open a view where we can swipe through the images. So in order to do that, I'm going to use another module called React Native Swiper. So if you haven't already heard of that, I will basically add that in the description and you can go and read about it. But in a nutshell, React Native Swiper basically helps you create swiping views where you can put different views together and you can swipe between them. That's what we are going to use. So let's import. I already have installed, but yeah, you can install when you will start working on this. So I'll just say swiper from React Native Swiper, right? And now let's go. So one other thing is important is that when we click on the image, we want to hide this view and only show the the swiper view. So in order to do that, I am also going to like have another variable in the state which will control that. So let's do that first. Let's try to do that first before implementing swiper. So let's say const let's say, for example, detail view visible, if it's visible or not, set detail view visibility. All right, so if it's visible or not, visibility, right? And then for the starter, obviously it will be false because we don't want to show this view right away, right? So now let's do one thing, detail view visible. So what I'm going to do for now, if detail view visible is true, right, then I'm going to show an empty view, right, with text empty view. Okay, and if detail view is not being is false, then I'm going to show this view, right, which is the main view basically. Okay, yep. So, and on the touchable opacity, click here. I'm going to make the view visible, not on click, on press, set details visible to true, and let's see if that works. So yeah, so if I click on this, you can see there is an empty text is not defined. What I'm doing, I have to import the text. Just go here, hit the reload again, click on this, and you can see the empty view, right? So this is the view that we are going to be using. So now we already have the swiper. Let's try using that. So instead of the view, I'm going to use swiper, you know. So as I am live streaming, there are some comments, you know, in the chat, and yeah, Akash Verma, he says shout out please. Hey Akash, how are you? So Akash is a colleague of mine. He's a really good friend, and he is a fantastic React developer. So that's yeah. Thanks for watching the video, man. So now we have the swiper. Get back to the swiper. So now we have the swiper, and what we're going to do is basically let's show our images in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to map all the images in here. So nodes, again the same thing, nodes.map. Let's do one thing, let's copy paste this will be much more easier. So nodes.map, nodes.map, and inside the node, instead of touchable opacity, I'm going to render a view. Okay, here as well, view, right? And obviously there will be no there will be some styling, so we'll talk about that later, but there will be view, and inside that view there will be images, style. So now I don't want to render an image with height 100, minimum width 100. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to all right, what I'm going to do is, so okay, so let's just render the image like this before first, and then we'll think about anything else. So the view says height 100%, minimum width 100%. I don't think we need that. We need flex 1 definitely. I'm going to align the items to the center, and I'm going to justify the content also to the center. So all of the children should be center aligned both vertically and horizontally. Then I'm going to say the background color should be #333, right? Let's see if that works. So okay, this is how it is looking right now. This is not probably what we want, so I don't think we need flex one. Yeah, so this is how the images are looking right now. So instead of that, but I don't want its height to be 100%. I'm going to remove the height, and because I'm not providing any height, it just disappears. So there is a property called resize mode contain, in which according to the width, it will determine its own height, and resize it to contain the image. So I'm just going to use that. Still nothing. I think I have to provide a width to it. Let me reload that. Maybe that's what it is. Let's click on here. Interesting. So let me do one thing. So we don't provided any flags. Let's try to give it flags. Yeah. So I think I can make its width 100%. Let's write. Yeah. So now you can see the width 100%, and you can see I'm able to swipe between all of the images. But you can see now I'm able to loop through the images. You can see here, right? So this is the first image, this is the first image, this is the last image, and you can see the dot going here. So instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the loop. So swiper have this property called loop, and you can just set it to false, and then it will stop looping. For example, if I try to go, no, it will not go. You can see, right? There's one problem that I can't get out of this view. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that let me reload that and I'll show you. The second thing is it doesn't matter which on whatever image I click. For example, this, it will always start from the first, because the swiper thinks that it have to start from the start. So instead of that, what swiper allows you to do is provide index, which can be the starting index. So I'm going to basically keep a track of that. So whenever we click on an image, we're going to pass that index to the to the swiper, and it will take care of everything. So const selected index, and then say set selected index equal to 4. For the starter it will always be 0, but then when we click on this touchable opacity, we will set the index, because we have the access to the index. So we're going to set the index. So now I'm going to so you can see now, if I click on this image, it will start from here, and then I can basically browse between different images, right? If I go here and click on this, for example, it will open this. If I go here, click on this, it will open this, and from here I can basically browse between different images, right? Now the last thing which is remaining for us is that we should be able to close this view, because right now I'm not able to close this view. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another view in here, inside this view, inside this swiper view. I'm going to add another view, and I'm going to render a button inside it, right? Not like this, and I'm going to render a button called title. Inside title there will be close, right? And yeah, so that will be the title. And on press of that button, I'm going to close the modal. So one sec. Right. So on the on press of the model, what I'm going to do is on not the model, on the button, I'm going to just call the set detail view visibility to false. So you know it hides the model, and this view, right, this view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide style to it. I'm going to position it absolutely, because what I want to do is I want to render the, so you can see the button is getting rendered here. I want to render it here. So what I'm going to do is position it, you know, absolutely. So absolute, and you can see the button in the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say from bottom, you know, put a 60 padding kind of thing. So you can see the close button here. So now if I go to any, you know, image, it show me the close button. If I click on the close button, it closes the image gallery. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, that's the simplest image gallery we can create, and I think I took 30 around 37 minutes to do it. And I think it's pretty simple and fast. So what we did basically is that we installed camera roll, we get all the images, we showed them in a grid. On click, we use swiper, you know, to open the images in a swiping view and swipe across them, and yeah, close the swiper view and go back to the photos. Obviously a lot of things can be done with this. You know, it's the simplest example that I can create of, you know, if you wanted a good example of good simple and a fast example. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And in the comments I can see people are asking to make a new video about Next.js. So yeah, definitely I can do that next Saturday, and I will put all the information about this code in the description, the GitHub repo, and the all the packages that I have used, and all of the issues that I ran into will be in the description. So please go check it out. And yeah, so till the next Saturday, guys, have fun.